I might as well get going. Everyone's so quiet all of a sudden. So, you guys must be ready for some music. Well, good evening. Welcome to the GHS. I almost feel like I have to look at this. We've had so many concerts recently. The GHS Concert Choir, Chamber Choir, and Wind Ensemble Concerts. This is the first of two high school concerts in as many weeks. We've had kind of a whirlwind in the music department, which you're probably well aware of, between hosting NISMA this past weekend and having our orchestra festival last weekend, or last Wednesday, and many, many other events. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you for everything that you do for your children to keep them involved in music. I know that it's sometimes challenging to figure out all the extracurriculars in terms of different rehearsals and getting them to and from lessons and all the other things that these amazing students are all involved in, because as I'm sure they are like my children, they're probably involved in music and athletics and lots of other things. So thank you to all of you for all the things that you do to make this possible. I'd also like to thank our amazing music teachers, Miss Golub and Miss Ellinger. And you certainly didn't come here to hear me prattle on, so I'm going to stop talking now and let's get to the good stuff. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss Claudia Golub and the GHS Chamber Choir.
Our first selection tonight is Sleep by Eric Whitacre. Littered with cluster chords. There we go. Our first selection tonight is Sleep by Eric Whitacre. Littered with cluster chords, which are chords that are made up of close tones that create shimmering dissonance, Sleep is a quintessential Whitacre work. Structured as an 8-part piece, the voices intertwine throughout, creating feelings of unison and togetherness. The voices mainly sing syllabically with quarter note movement, which highlights Whitacre's desire for showcasing the words of the poem. The voices create a hauntingly beautiful atmosphere, representing the feelings and sensations of drifting off into sleep. The music begins to build up to a climax in the third stanza, before the music slowly begins to drift off as the voices surrender unto sleep.
Silver Our second piece tonight is called Mata del Anima Sola, which translates to Tree of the Lonely Soul. This piece has two distinct sections, one slow and meditative, and the other very quick and rhythmic, based on a combination of 3/4 and 6/8 meter, which is characteristic of a Venezuelan dance called joropo. The music depicts the solitude and mystery of Llanos, the high plains of Venezuela, while the tenor soloist repeats the llanero, or man of the plains, whose songs are improvised. In the joropo section, the choir imitates the instruments that are traditionally used to play the dance. The altos and tenors have the rhythm of the cuatro, a small guitar with only 4 strings. The sopranos imitate the diatonic harp, and the basses sing the guitar bordones, all of which combine to provide the instrumental accompaniment to the tenor soloist. Bonin Kaino will be the tenor solo this evening.
Mata dell'anima sola, boqueron del banco largo, ya podrás decir ahora, aquí durmió, canta claro. Mata dell'anima sola, boqueron del banco largo, ya podrás decir ahora, aquí durmió, canta claro.
You guys can head that way, walk all the way to the end there, and then step off. Music in the Good evening, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ellinger, and I'm the Triumph advisor this year. And what we're going to be doing, just line up a little bit, just give us some time, and we'll talk a little bit about what Triumph is all about. And just be a little bit patient. We'll be right with you. Thank you. Come on down. Come on down. Okay, I want everybody. Oh, this is for me? Don't they look great? So I just want to introduce you to our officers here. First of all, Tri-M is based on 3Ms, but the Modern Music Masters. And it's a club that we work on throughout the year. We talk about what's important to be, why is it important to be in the community, and what can we do to share music, share the service of music, and just be a positive influence and just be enthusiastic about what music does for us and what it does for us in our hearts. And we can keep that music going through the whole community right up till we're 90, 100 years old. But just to keep that quality of life in our everyday part of ourselves. So, till further ado, now we're going to introduce. This is Olivia and Hazel, and they're going to be talking a little bit about what we've done with Tri-M, and they are our co-presidents. So let's give them a nice big hand. They've done a lot of work there.
Hello, my name is Olivia Petty, and I am co-president of Tri-M with Hazel Regan.
We would also like to recognize our other officers, Vice President Carson Rittner, Secretary Maddie Nags, co-publicists Emily Cataldo and Natalie Teal, and Treasurer Kaylee Green.
Could you raise your hand, please, those people?
This year, we were able to help out at many events through the Guilderland music community, including a Brooks Barbecue event to help fundraise the Guilderland music program, the high school's Pops concert, performances throughout our community, working with the instrumental petting zoo for the third graders who are choosing their instruments, and we are currently planning and preparing for a senior showcase concert, which will feature and honor our graduating seniors in the Guilderland music program.
Without further ado, I would like to introduce the 2023 Tri-M inductees. Each inductee will receive the pin that represents their official Tri-M membership, presented to them by current members of Tri-M. On behalf of the NAFME organization and the Guilderland High School Tri-M Chapter 3678, we would like to officially welcome you into the National Tri-M Class of 2023. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your hard work and dedication to our school and community. Would all veteran members and assistants please pin the official Tri-M pin onto your lapels?
Congratulations. And as what? Okay. What? And as some of you may know, our advisor for Tri-M, Mrs. Ellinger, is retiring this year. So along with an induction, this is also, unfortunately, a farewell. Mrs. Ellinger is always so open, honest, and caring, sharing with us her meditations, her frustrations, and her passion for this music department. Along with all the things previously mentioned that she has helped out with Tri-M accomplish, earlier this year, she inspired a group of students and parents to take to the school board with our need for more space for our rehearsals, which they are seriously considering. Now, however, that is how you make a lasting impact on your community. It is upsetting that we have to be the classes that lose this amazing teacher and mentor. And yet, how lucky we are that we get to take everything we've learned from you and use that to help bridge the gap between us, your last students, and the next generation of Guilderland musicians. So on behalf of Tri-M, thank you so much for everything, Mrs. Ellinger.
And lastly, we'd now like to welcome Mrs. Golub as our new Tri-M advisor for next year and beyond. We can't wait to see where Tri-M goes with you as our advisor, and we look forward to working with you next year.
Our first selection is a sacred chorus from Johann Sebastian Bach's Magnificat in D major. The text translation is, according to the promise he made to our ancestors, to Abraham and his descendants forever. This piece is a wonderful introduction to polyphonic texture where there are several different melodic lines sung simultaneously. We will sing in 5 parts. Listen for the main theme in each section, first introduced by the basses. This is Sicut locutus est.
Sicut locutus est ad patres nos. Sicut locutus est ad patres secos. Sicut Abraham et Semineius in secus. Sicut locutus est ad patres secos.
Our next piece is Diarton. Diarton is a setting of Rilke's poem Les Chansons des Roses. One of the most beautiful things about this piece is the way it utilizes melodic word painting. The poem mentions how the petals of a rose envelop and wrap around each other. This piece replicates that with each voice having the melody at several points throughout the song, overlapping and alternating entrances to create the same effect as the petals of the rose.
Abandon unto the dark. like to thank Sophie Guo for accompanying us. She'll be back as well. So for this next selection, I have someone who's going to talk to you about it, but I wanted to let you know that we're going to do something, give you a little window into our rehearsal process. We're going to sing in mixed formation, and I've actually never done this on a concert before, but they're going to move in just a second, and they're going to stand next to someone who's not singing the same part as them. And this really puts a lot of pressure on you to really know your part really well. Entrances, dynamics, all of that, because you don't have a lot of support from anybody singing the same part around you. So just for this number, we're going to go ahead and mix. Go for it.
Our next selection is called Shenandoah, written by American composer James Erb. The song is based on traditional American folk song, the Shenandoah Valley, which tells the story of a Native American tribe forced to leave their homeland. Erb's version of the song is a beautiful and moving tribute to the strength and resilience of the Shenandoah people.
I have to say goodbye to my seniors. Thank you, Hazel and Mrs. DeFrankville. So just really quickly, this senior class is really special. They are kind, they are intelligent, they are compassionate, and they are really musical. And it's just been a joy to work with them these last 4 years, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future. Please come back and visit. Send me an email, come visit us. It's just so lovely to see alumni here tonight and over the weekend at NISMA, and I just know that we'll keep in touch. So we love you, we'll miss you, and best of luck in your futures. Very bright futures. So I'm going to call them all down, and Mrs. DeFrankville and Hazel have roses for you. So our first senior is Nora Abel. Could you come on down, Nora? Maxine Alpart. Isabel Better. Melody Brewer. Janine Tsao. Leah Danahy. Nevia Fruscio. Sorry. Mia Giglio. Emma Harbeck. Catherine Harris. Samiha Hassan. Bowden Keinel. Madeline Nags. Edie Kreifels. Elizabeth Liu. Jamie Lowe. Prita Nayak. Mia Api. Madalena Riley. Olivia Rutherford. Riley Smith. Abby Tyson. Sydney Rice. Emma Wendt. And Melina White. The class of 2023 concert choir. Seniors, we will absolutely miss you. Good luck.
All right, so before we do anything, I'd just like to, we have a little something for Miss Gold from the class of 2023. We love you and appreciate you. I can't even begin to, you've been with us since the beginning of our music career, and I appreciate it to no end. Thank you. Thank you. This farewell song is a reflection on the constant passage of events and people who have been pillars along life's way. Omnia Sol, or Everywhere Light and Sun, depicts this interaction and daily investing of ourselves in every soul we encounter. Though we mature and move on, part of us has stayed in the hearts and minds of those we chance to meet.
patient as we made that transition. For this next little bit, I'm going to need Miss Ellinger to come out. Am I on? Yeah. All right. Miss Ellinger, come on out. As has already been mentioned, Miss Ellinger is retiring at the end of the year. To put that in perspective, Miss Ellinger has been teaching in the Guilderland Central School District for 37 years. All right? All right. And be...
Spending that first year. The first year was at Honeyeye Falls Lima School District out in Rochester.
Okay. But not as good as the next 36, right? Before that, Miss Ellinger was a student here in Guilderland. So to say that Miss Ellinger is an institution is to put it mildly in the Guilderland Central School District. To put that in perspective, she's impacted thousands of student lives. She has influenced teachers all throughout New York State through her work with the New York State Band Directors Association, taking in student teachers. And she's had a huge role in making the Guilderland Music Department what it is today. As I said a few weeks ago, you can't replace a Miss Ellinger. The very best that you can do is to learn from her while she's here and try to do our best when she's gone. Miss Ellinger, Kathleen, thank you for being our teacher. And you always, always have a home in the Guilderland Music Department.
I have a few words myself. Kath, how do you sum up a 37-year career in just a few minutes? Kathleen Ellinger is almost finished conducting her final concert here at Guilderland High School after decades on the podium. She's been part of the Guilderland community since she first attended Linwood Elementary School in the time since, I did write the number here, but in the time since, she has taught in several different schools in the district, played in dozens of pit orchestras with the Guilderland Players as both a student and faculty member, even conducting shows like How to Succeed in Business, Grease, and Steel Pier. Kathleen mentored me when I took over and conducted Music Man and Les Mis a few years ago, and her guidance and mentorship were invaluable to me as I stepped into a new role for the first time. She's been a pillar in the Guilderland community, starting several programs that remain a part of the fabric of our music department, like the Instrumental Petting Zoo, the annual Young People's Concert each February for every third grader in the district. And Kathleen is the founder of our pep band and has also served as the advisor for Tri-M Music Honor Society for many years. She's also performed in almost 50 Pops concerts. Her many accomplishments are dwarfed by her kindness, friendship, and willingness to help her students and colleagues with anything they may need. Kathleen's personality, sense of humor, and infectious laugh will be sorely missed around here for many years to come. I can't imagine how we'll go on without you here at GHS, but I know your legacy will be honored always. I will miss working with you, Kath. We love you.
So this is the first year I've never done a march. And I kind of went above and beyond. I want to do something exciting, a nice, good opener, something a little bit different for my last year. And of course, I do a lot of collaboration with other band directors. And band director who I've been working with, Jeff Calistri from Brittenkill, Tamarack High School, recommended this Disney piece, which is really quite fascinating. The hard part about it was arranged for marching band. So we did quite a bit of improvisation back in the percussion section, and I want to give them a big shuffle, please, for them, and a clap also, because they worked quite hard on this. And our next piece, Air for Band. So I want to talk a little bit, and I won't talk long, but just my thoughts behind how this piece started. It's a level 2 NISPA piece, and pretty much of a staple piece in the band world, even for our top college age students and musicians. And one rehearsal in the beginning of the year, I got kind of frustrated because I always think, especially the wind ensemble, these kids are brilliant. More brilliant than we could imagine, more brilliant than they know they are. And so I just kind of got frustrated, got off the podium and said, what is it, why can't you do this yourself? Why can't they just play by themselves and figure it out themselves and collaborate and work together as a team? And so I just thought, okay, let's just do this. Let's make this a part of a collaborative effort so that they can start learning to know each other, to learn how to lead, because when they get out of high school and in college, they're going to have to lead somehow. They've got to figure out how to work with each other, what's happening in our brains, what's happening in our hearts, what is it that prevents us from speaking our word, speaking our honesty, and are we going to wait for the next person to do something? So we have these conversations with this piece, and I'd like to also acknowledge Olivia, because Olivia is going to stand up and she's going to do a little bit of conducting in the beginning, which is kind of neat. But what we do is we have a conversation. And so what I decided to do is put together a course about collaboration in the traditional band setting. And I decided to put an application in for the NYSBA Symposium, which happens in March. And this is basically clinics for band directors throughout the whole state to try to encourage them to do the best they could possibly can and learn different techniques on how to be a band director. So I thought, wow, wouldn't it be neat to have that this technique come out within the band world so that it's not just the conductor up here bossing everybody around. And it's time for them to really put up to the task of learning it themselves. And so, without further ado, Olivia is going to take over. We're going to tune again a little bit, if we can. looks easy, doesn't it? It's not. I don't know if you noticed, but they were moving together, breathing together. Just the breathing part of it when you start a piece is very difficult because you have to breathe in time to come together. So all these little nuances that are going on up there is just remarkable, and it just feels so great that they can do this together without the conductor. And it brings out a lot of friendships. They've learned, can I just tell a little story real quick because it kind of makes me laugh. When I started here with the whole trying to figure out, how we can best bring the brilliance out in them, I came up to them. I said, what is it? Why are you not saying anything? So I heard the piece probably after a month, and they're just sitting there and they're not saying anything. Of course, it's 7:30 in the morning, and you just want to, really. So they weren't saying anything. They knew there was a problem. I knew there was a problem, but I didn't want to tell them. So I went up there and I said, guys, what is it? What is it about the fact that you don't want to say anything? And of course they all raised their hands. And I said, what is it? Is it the fear? What's going on in here? Because when you go to college and when you go into a meeting, you're going to need to go out there and just tell it like it is, no matter whether you're afraid or not. And all of a sudden, Mason stands up. He says, Mrs. Ellinger, it was just, what'd you say? Can you remember?
I just don't want to be that guy,
So he just didn't want to be that guy. And it brought a nice feeling to the group. It was funny, and it just put everything out there. It was authentic. And that's what's huge. It's trying to be authentic, being okay with the fears that we have, and we are always going to have them. And you always have to strive to put that fear out there and just fight through it. And then it's amazing what you learn from all of that. So I just want to thank you. Can we give a nice shuffle again? That was wonderful. So our next piece, some of you may have heard of this, but this is by Gustav Holst. It's a very, very famous piece in the band world. And we're going to play the first and the third movement, the Ciccone and the March. To our seniors. And I just want to talk just a little bit. I won't talk too much, but the seniors have been just a great role models here for our younger students. And just good luck. Do a great job. Make me proud. Keep in touch. We will miss you. And I'm so thankful to have you for my last year here. It's been a great ride, and I'm going to try not to cry, but I just really, really thank you for all the things that you have taught me, because each one of you have a special place in my heart. I've learned from so many of you how to be patient, how to be kind, how to be lovable and funny. And every morning we wake up in the morning, we come here, and even this morning I had to give them a lecture for coming in on time. I could not believe I had to do that on my concert. But you know I still love you, yes? Yes. And when your parents yell at you, that doesn't mean that they don't love you. They just want the best for you. So, got it? Okay. So, I'm going to name some of the seniors, and when I call your name, come on up, and Mrs. DeFranco is going to give you a rose, and we're going to line up right up here. So our first, can we give a nice big applause to Michael Buttridge? Come on up. Our next is Janine Tsao. Janine, come on up. Give Janine Tsao, come on up here. And Andrew Comparetta, come on up, Andrew. Give him a nice hand. And we have Ian Kahn, come on up, Ian. And Anthony Guo, come on up, Anthony. Kathleen Guo, come on up, Kathleen. And we have Bowden Kino, come on up, Bowden. And our first clarinet, Carson Rittner, come on up. And our one and only French horn player, Jason Yamashita. Let's give him a nice big hand. Thank you so much. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give him. All right, we're going to play our last piece. Can you go back into your chairs, please? Oh, boy. Here, grab this.
So we wanted to give Mrs. Ellinger a big thank you for all that she's done for us this year. You've been inspirational for us all, and it's been a pleasure to work with you all year.
It's going to be really hard to imagine the music department without Mrs. Ellinger. She's been here for so long, and the entire time I've been in Wind Ensemble, she's just pushed everyone and just has always expected the best out of her musicians, and it's been a pleasure to work with her for these past 4 years.
While they're getting settled, a couple people I really want to thank. So I've had a lot of mentors in my life, and I think those mentors are what keeps me strong and positive. And Lori Hirschenhart, she's here. She's been kind enough. She was my mentor here for many, many years. Can we give her a hand, please? Our supervisor. Thank you so much. And I can't neglect all the band directors that I had: Sam Ferrucci, Don Webster, Tony Maiello, all of my trumpet teachers from United States Marine Band down in George Mason University. And also, I just want to thank John Fatuso. You will do great here. I am so proud of all of you have done and all you've done to help me out, because I'm forgetting a lot of things these days. So thank you so much for helping out, and thank you. And thank you to Claudia and Claudia Golub, Shannon DeFranco, and all the other teachers. You guys have been wonderful. My one last mentor here is here, and it's my mom. She's 91 years old, and she has been my biggest fan here. So back. Give her a hand. She's right back here. Thank you so much, Mom. So this is for you, Mom. All right, trumpet players, come on up.